Hi, I'm Isaac, and welcome to the OLS TV. Today, I want us to talk about suicide. There's been a rise in suicidal cases in Ghana and even globally. I want us to talk about it on the basic level and even deeper if time permits us. And, I have here with me my honorable guest, our one and only Nana Kwame.
Yeah,
How are you, brother?
I'm good, bro. Yourself?
I'm also fine. Today's topic is a very sensitive one because just last week, I mean, 2 weeks ago or even 3 weeks ago, a student of University of Ghana, a
Okay.
medical student precisely, took his life because they said
Oh, he
depression. That
was
was
depressed.
that was the known cause of the suicide,
Yeah.
depression. And I want us to talk about it because there's been a crisis in these suicidal cases, and I want us to talk about it. We have to talk about the cause and then whatever thing around it, and even how to prevent it. Because let me even start by saying, personally, I've been depressed. I think it's a very minor depression,
Okay.
but not really
Not to
to
the
the
point of thinking of
exactly.
suicide.
And I don't know for you too as well. If you have been at a point of saying this is it for me, I'm going to take my life.
Okay. So, I won't say entirely yes. It goes to a point where I feel like taking my life, but we face a lot of life struggles that it becomes very difficult to even talk to people or even associate with people sometimes.
Okay.
Okay, and then also by the work that we are doing, I've got a lot of knowledge and understanding of people's emotions, how they understand things, how they feel about certain situations, and all that. And upon deeper checks, I come to understand that this depression, anxiety, fear, and all this thing mostly are not even by the doing of these people. Most of them are inherited.
Wow.
Yeah, most of these things are inherited. So it's basically beyond just a mere. If you ask somebody, or oh, this person is depressed, it's depression that caused. Most people who are depressed, when you ask them the cause of their depression, they might not be able to identify or pinpoint anything that is the actual cause. Because what maybe somebody will say, okay, broken heart can also get you depressed, fine. But how many people have gotten through broken heart and still alive, never thought of suicide?
Good.
You are not the only person. So many people have been through that.
Why are you the only
You will
one?
talk of poverty. So many people are going through more. They are
Acute poverty.
yeah, than what you think you are going through. Somebody who is a medical student probably, even if there is not that much, they are medical. Being it's not a joke. So at least there's something, or there's somebody provide. There is how do you call this? Yeah, there's a future to hope for.
Okay.
So how will somebody of that status decide to take him or her life if it's just about that? Somebody is so struggling just to find something small to survive on, but that person still have hope.
I want you to elaborate. I want you to kindly elaborate on what you are saying because you're saying is deeper,
Yeah.
and I want you to go a bit deeper, like you're saying, for people to understand what you actually mean by that.
So this our physical body contain the genetics, hormones, and then how do you call it? And
Genes and all of that.
yes, hormones and all these things. You know, there is something about it that if you once have a parent, or if they have parents that has gone through fear, maybe through slavery, maybe through how do you call it, poverty, like rejection, disappointment, and all that. These hormones, they generate something that it switches their DNA. Okay, and that it becomes part of you, become part of that bloodline. Okay, so I'm going deeper to the spirit side, or the spiritual side of it. Okay,
This is even more psychological, but
yeah, we can put it that way, because when you go to the labs talking about suicidal cases, they'll just say, oh, it's depression, it's anxiety, it's fear, it's this, it's that. But there's something always beyond that. There's something always beyond that. We must also understand what causes the anxiety. We must understand what causes the fear, what causes the depression, what causes the, or you see, so this is what I'm talking about. So most of these things are inherited genetically. Okay, we call something epigenetic. This is where we inherit memories. Okay, the memories are stored in the etheric body. The fear, the anxiety, the depression. The etheric body is just simply like maybe our wiring system. Okay, so that is where we store so many things. So when your parents or your great grandparents are people who have gone through something, assuming let's use someone like at the good side, let's use someone like Abedi Pele. Okay, the generations keep on playing football, very talented. From he himself that we know, moved to his children's, to his grandchildren's, and they are all doing so well when it comes to football because they inherit this thing genetically. Okay, the same way there are people who have lived through trauma, depression, anxiety, fear, maybe slavery, gone through so many things, and the descendant of these people also inherit that. So you ask, how did these kids know how to play ball? They don't train more than other kids. There are somebody who has like they don't have that attribute. They've trained their whole life, but it's not. And somebody will tell you that they have connection. That is why they are playing. No connection without the talent, they cannot play anywhere. If you have a connection, there must be a talent. And where are they getting this talent from? It's something that they inherited genetically. So we also inherit these fears, this anxiety, this something that it always triggers in you.
So what normally triggers these things that you're talking about?
The soul never forgets. Okay, it's the physical body that maybe you have limitation. The soul never forgets the pains it has been through, the fears it has been through, the depressions there has been, the anxiety. That is why you can have a small child who is always timid. You don't understand. Some kids are also very vibrant, playing, doing all these things. There are some kids, they are very brilliant. There are some to no matter how much you put in effort, they are not able to recover or remember anything. You get it? So there is something in them. So when assuming that this is someone who has ever been bitten by snake, when they see earthworms, they get afraid of it. So this person who has gone through or have this genetic or how do you call it, the ancestral history of this pain, of the neglection, the poverty, the maybe the slavery and all that. So anything that happens around that triggers that person.
Wow.
Yes, anything that happens because the soul remembers. So anything that's so maybe assuming somebody who has offended or has committed some kind of sins before, and that person was treated in a way like unhumanly. So later in lifetime, maybe the person might be going through and then commit similar thing, something that
So just
yeah, it will spark that because the soul remembers.
wow.
So the fear set in.
And then that would eventually lead to depression.
And then maybe that person is even been afraid of voicing this fear out to people.
So that is what normally leads to the suicide.
Yes. And when it happens like that, when the person automatically goes silent. And when you go silent, silence is what feed the anxiety, the fear, the depression, the anger, and all these things into suicidal thoughts.
Well, not to cut you, but not all people that have this suicidal thoughts go silent. Someone can be there and be very vibrant, but deep down goes through a lot, tries enough to hide it from people to see it.
That is the
And
silence, of course. The person can look, vibrant outside, but deep, he has a silent battle that is fighting within.
so that is one sign you should, notice if someone is going through depression.
Yeah.
I want us to see some of the signs so that we can help people easily detect if someone is going through all these suicidal thoughts.
Okay. So there is one key thing that I think as people we need to pay attention to. That is your emotional intelligence. You must be very intelligent when it comes to your emotions. You must know when there's a shift. You must know when something is triggering in you. You must know when like you are not of yourself, okay, emotionally. Because if you are not able to realize that before you know, then you are beginning to
Disassociate.
disassociate yourself. So it's not from one point to the other. But if you are emotionally intelligent, you know that there's something happening. So you need to seek for advice.
What takes one to be emotionally intelligent?
Pay attention to yourself. You have to pay attention to how you react to issues. You have to pay attention to maybe somebody will say this thing. What's my reaction? Today, you say, like, oh, this. Initially, when people say this, I get angry. But now, when people say it, I just smile. There has been a shift from that blockages to maybe a life force flowing now.
So in this same scenario, if on a normal someone would say something that wouldn't make me angry, but then if this time if someone does something and then I get angry, are you saying I should take note of that thing that has just happened? It
Yes,
might lead to depression.
yes, because initially, if some things doesn't bother you, but now it seems those things are bothering you, you must understand why. What has changed? Is it maturity? Is it that I'm growing? Is it that something is triggering inside of me that I don't know about yet? You need to find out, understand yourself better. Always have a reason why you are doing this. Okay, there must be a reason backing why you are doing or taking any action. But if you don't have that, and the thing happens, you're like, oh, Charlie, my name is you, sorry. No, when you be like consistency with that, then no, there's a problem. You need to find or get somebody who understands these things and then help you. Most people are living on something that has happened in the past that they are not responsible for it, but that thing has like it become a blueprint in their bloodline. So that thing keep triggering, and that thing is calling for healing. Okay, so most people, if you have this kind of situations in your house, maybe somebody has done this thing, find a solution, a permanent solution to that. If not, history will repeat itself.
Wow.
Yes,
Hey, that means those people during those slave trade era. This is just jokes, though. I don't mean any harm. Those people during those slave trade era, those slaves too. And if you have a lineage in those things, I get it. That is why most African Americans normally commit suicide because they have a lineage that went through similar thing. Exactly your point.
yeah.
Thank you very much. I say, Wama, I don't know make sense about me.
Yeah, because most people they've gone through this. They are, you see, there are some kids who never had opportunity to voice out before they even went back.
I don't know if you've studied it, but most African Americans normally commit suicide.
Yeah, because that trauma, that pain, that anxiety, that fear, that depression is still in there.
Wow.
It has become part of their DNA. Okay, this like their DNA has gradually shift from their true purpose to that, and now there's no life force. There's no like this where this all these things are stored. The divine light, which is what we call God. Okay, if God sent his light or the true signal, that is where it flows. It flows through your etheric body. Okay, that is where your life force is. So that is what transfers. If you have to be rich, that is where it comes from. If you will be happy, everything, all these things, it's direct from the source. And then this energy carries it through you. Okay, that is why your vibrations are. That is why if you want to be successful, like there's a frequency that you need to vibrate on. If you want to have peace, all these things have their frequencies. Okay, and then the anxiety, the pain, the fear, the anger, all these things also have vibration. They also have their frequencies in the lower version. So the more deep you go, the more dense you become. And the more dense you become, it becomes very difficult for you to connect with the divine.
Exactly.
So when it becomes like you become more dense, you cannot raise your vibrations anymore. And the only thing you think about, so let me offload this. So offloading is when the suicidal thought comes in. But that's the only option.
Is that really the only option?
That is not the only option. But at that point, that is what your mind tells you. Because the mind doesn't know that you can speak to somebody and then, but if you are not emotionally intelligent, that is what I'm talking about, emotional intelligence. Realize it faster and then seek for advice, seek for help.
So, what of those people that are not emotionally intelligent? What are some of the way they can, solve or manage the situation?
Is
Because I don't think all of us are emotionally intelligent.
all of us cannot be emotional intelligence, and all of us can also be emotional intelligence. These are two ways. So what I'm trying to put it here is, whenever you are feeling something, consistency, and it's becoming a challenge for you, seek for advice.
Voice it out.
Never go silent on something that is happening to you deep within. Find somebody, find a counselor, find a spiritualist who understands these things. Okay, find someone like a shaman. Shamans understand these things. Shamans understand how emotions works and all that. So when you are beginning to feel something and you feel like, this is becoming part of me, which you know you don't like, this is not who you choose to be, find somebody that you can pour your heart. Sometimes you just need to cry to release that. Sometimes you need just that cry. You need to cry. You need the shoulder to, release that cry on. But the question is, the shoulder that you are going to release that on, is that person fit to carry that? No. If that person is not fit to carry that, then you go to that person with that. The person might not understand you because the soul is not also ready to accept those heaviness. If I have an issue, I'm going through so much, and if me myself I'm not emotionally intelligent, and you come and pour it on me, that thing also gets, like, it becomes some weight on me as well. That is why we have all these spiritual people who understand this thing. When they understand this, they know how to, get this load, and then so they become a medium where you release that and they dump it.
Okay, so do you think that is the only way we can manage this, or are there other ways apart
That,
from voicing out?
that is the best way. Understanding.
So I think that is actually the first step.
Yes.
First step before maybe something leads to, it leads. It's more like a sequence where if you need something, how depending on how dense your situation is, you first of all voice it out. Then maybe if there's any healing, you get the healing before, and then if there's anything that follows, you get it all.
Let me put it this way for you to understand. Assuming we have pipes laid here, that there's a water needs to flow through these pipes, okay, and then there's maybe some muddy in the pipe that is making the water not able to flow. There's the pressure is also coming from the top, trying to release this pipe, okay, or the water is supposed to flow, circulate. The pump or the pressure pump up there is pumping the pressure to flow, and then this blockage is also not allowing it. And the more it's not allowing it, the weight is becoming more, and you are going down denser. The more denser you go, the more you lose focus, the more you lose vibration, because you're supposed to get signal, you're supposed to get this flow from the divine, and now it's not able to flow anymore. So before this thing can flow, you must remove those blockages. And how do you remove these blockages? By talking to the right people. Let them make you understand why you are facing this. Let them share your pain with you. These things are emotions. This is something that you cannot see. But when you and the conversation that we are having, you are getting so many clarity. You are understanding certain things. So you understanding these certain things automatically is offloading that weight. Okay, there are some rituals or some cleansings that can be done to automatically wipe off these energies, this pain, this anxiety, this fear. There was a lady who that takes me back to this black Americans and all that. She actually came from Germany. She called me, we were having a conversation, and what she was saying, you could see that she's so confused, very fatigued when it comes to the emotion, like very, very dense. So spoke to her. I spoke to her more than an hour on the phone. And after then, she was like, "Oh, I am relieved. Like, even hearing you people and the kind of comments I'm hearing on the social media, I was even afraid to come. But how you've, given me explanation to this has calmed me. So I will try and come and blah, blah, blah." Last week, she came from Germany just to do the emotional cleansing. I think she was the first person.
Yeah.
Yes. So she did the cleansing for her. Yesterday, she called me and was like, "Hey, another call manager, like, how long is this feeling going to stay? Because the way I'm feeling, I don't want it to go again."
Wow.
yes, a whole lot has been released. Okay, if someone who has never seen happiness, somebody who has never felt inner joy, is now like, according to her, even her mom has now realized that no, 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 my daughter has changed. So she's even planning to come back for. And so she was asking me, so how long is he going to stay? And I just told her
How
that
long is it? Let me ask you that. How long is it actually going to stay though?
it's something that is with you. Okay, like I said, if that pipe is there, if you are able to notice that your emotions, that is, if you are able to work on your emotional intelligence, when there's a dirt or filth is entering this pipe, you realize it, you quickly clean it so that the space becomes free for free flow. But if you don't do that, when you get blocks again, you are still going to face that dance. And maybe if you are not able to heal that, and sorry to say, you die, it will still affect your DNA for other people to come and continue that pain.
So are you saying even after the cleansing, you are supposed to do it sequentially to completely eradicate that problem?
Yeah, since you eat, it goes. You eat again. You don't say I've eaten, so I won't eat again. You bath. It's not that maybe after bathing you went and sleep on the floor, but you have to bath again. If you don't bath, you know how your body will smell. All this thing, the way it happens, just like that. You cannot hold on to what you are evolving, you are growing, you are meeting new people, you are exchanging energies every day, you are contaminating your energies every day. So there must be something that you do. These things must be part of you. It must be a ritual. It must be part of you. That all the time, monitor your energy, you monitor your frequencies, you understand your vibrations, you understand where you are vibrating on at every point in life. So somebody, if they are telling you that you need to raise your vibration, it's because if you don't raise your vibration, the more dimmer you become. That is why we even have these our chakra systems. It first do with the root chakra. Then the more you raise your vibration to your third eye, then you go to the crown. The crown is you reaching the divine. That is the divine source that I'm talking about.
Thank you very much. Do you have any final words you want to leave to your listeners and your viewers?
So what I will tell people, most especially the youth, is whenever you are facing something, I know a lot of people are saying, there's no spiritualist, that people don't believe in anything these days. But to be frank and sincere, the kind of things that people are going through indoors, if people should come and speak it, you know that yes, me per what I do, the calls we receive, the kind of people we talk to, most especially those outside Ghana, when they call you, their problem is always about this thing. And the more heavier you become, you can never have joy. You can never have peace. You can never have that wealth. It becomes difficult because you are not able to raise your vibration to that level. So if you want to enjoy peace, if you want to enjoy freedom, if you want to understand your life, if you want to, have a meaningful life, you need to, let go of all these things by getting closer to somebody who really understands how these things work, and the person will heal you for you to be able to elevate yourself from that dance and you become who you are here for. So that is what I will have to tell people.
Thank you.
Never go silence when you are facing challenges like this. Have somebody that you can talk to.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And on this note, I would want us to end here and see that the oldest herbal and spiritual center would like to start a campaign saying say no to suicide.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
So thank you very much. Continue watching us on the oldest TV.